Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo. This is MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and many online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm excited to be here today with RoseMarie Davis. RoseMarie, it's lovely to be with you.
Oh, Lorelai, I am the one that's the most excited. It was great to connect with you guys, and I'm so excited to be a part.
Oh, it's great. Well, tell us, what is it that you do? What are you sharing at our events?
Well, I teach awareness and spirituality through thought consciousness. Um, you mind if I tell you a little bit about myself and
Please
how?
go ahead. Like, tell me about you. And I'm so curious about what thought consciousness is. And yeah,
Okay.
all these different things. Go ahead.
Okay. I taught martial arts for over 25 years here in the Pacific Northwest, right here in Portland. And I loved it. One of the things that I ended up doing a lot of was helping people kind of overcome their own limitations, their own inner fears. There were things that held them back that they weren't even aware of. And I found that in addition to the kicking and punching, I really enjoyed helping people expand and become more than they thought they were, their preconceived notions. And so about 8 years ago, I opened a martial arts studio in Southeast Portland, and I wanted to incorporate that in it. So I really took on the study of spirituality and awakening and what the enlightenment thing was all about. And I tell you, I jumped in with both feet and my nose plugged, just head over heels into it. And I studied everything. Um, I ended up falling into metaphysics and esoteric sciences and philosophies. I think I was kind of guided there because that's not where I was going. It led me to write a book on awakening. I started out with the blog. I didn't know what I wanted to write, but I had been studying for so long. I knew there was something inside me that I wanted to get out. So every morning I would get up, well, every Sunday morning without fail, I would get up and at 6 o'clock and wrote whatever came into my mind, um, not really knowing what it was. So I just said, here we go, let's do it. So every Sunday morning without fail, I got up and I wrote this blog and I would publish by 10 o'clock. I'd never written a blog or I'd never read one. So I didn't know what to expect, but this was my goal.
Wow.
So
What a
I
way to
did
prompt
it for
yourself out
one.
there. Like, I got to get up. I got to write. I got to post.
Yeah, there was just something that had to come out. And some mornings it's like, well, what is it that I need to say? And so that's what would come out. And after a year, 52 weeks, I was done. I had nothing else to say. And it was really odd because I watch a lot of the self-help societies that are into self-awareness and so on. So what this particular morning when I was finished, I was watching a young man who was at the time the president of the Theosophical Society. And so he was doing his presentation, and what his talk was about was exactly what my last blog was about. And I thought, okay, that means I'm done. And then I was done. So yeah, for 1 year, I didn't do anything with it. It just kind of sat in the back burner. And one day, something said, RoseMarie, you need to put this in a book. And what the book ended up being, when I went back and looked at it, I was kind of impressed with myself because it really talked about who we were, how we became who we were, and our struggle to move past that preconceived notion of who we were. And I even had some step-by-step tools in how to do it. After a while, they seemed redundant, but then I realized because we have the same thoughts every day. And so that's what we need to take control of. And so my whole program became developed around how do we expand consciousness? And like I said, how we thinking is the most difficult thing to be in control of. And it's something that we do 24/7, even in our sleep, even though we don't understand what our thoughts are telling us, but we are always connected, and so I realized in doing my study and with the guidance that I've been given that there's information that we're touched into and that we can go back and use to develop, I should say, our own intuitive abilities, because when we're born, we only learn how to use our physicals. There are some of us that are gifted that have realized those gifts early and decided to share those. But the secret is knowing that we all have those gifts, and there's certain things that we have to do to develop those. And that's what's calling out and into us, that when you get my age, you say, what's life all about? What am I supposed to be doing here? There's something calling me. And what I found is a way to help people tap into that. So that's what I'm drawn to share. So my program is a mastery program, and mastery is a very personal thing. So I offer a variety of different tools and techniques and ways of coming together to help people find that perfect process that they can use. And also put together lifestyle products that help you kind of promote that you're living an awakened lifestyle, and tools like journals and that kind of thing that will help you if you want to change habits or look at certain things. I'm also connected with the Shanti Crystal Foundation. So I do my own workshops where we talk about enlightenment, everything from the Anunnaki to Jesus, and how that applies to economics and politics today, to actually studying the way of mastery that was produced by the Shanti Crystal Foundation as a study group. That's an international group. And so people can come over from all over and drop in. We do chapter reads and discuss where they're applying that and where they may be stuck in their life. So, and then there's the one-to-one consultation that we do. Say you are working on your own level of development, and you say you might want to, you feel stuck doing your meditations or your affirmations aren't working and you're getting frustrated. My goal is to help you work through what it is that might be your blocks. There's other tools and techniques that we learn, like visioning and chakra clearing and toning and those kinds of things that you do to develop your own level of awareness. You're increasing your own personal vibration and learning how to be more positive, whereas attracting more positivity into your life. So my program is more of a well-rounded, you don't need products, but there are tools that you can use that help you focus. The ceremony of going through the meditations and so on really help us get focused, centered, and develop some habits, good habits, going in and sitting down to make sure that you practice, or lifestyle products that help you remember through the day. Oh yeah, I do need to watch what I'm thinking. I'm having those thoughts, like a mandala is just to sit there and help you think. How many times am I saying this? I go through this mandala 3 times, and that means I've done it. I've said my chant 200 times, those kinds of things. Those are tools that you can use. And I try to make sure that that stuff is available for folks. There's everything from, in meditation and clearing energy. And I mean, there's just so much. So my goal is to help people kind of wade their way through that.
It sounds like some people are in your process and they get stuck and they want to know how to shift from where they're stuck. And it sounds like also people can come to you with all kinds of different problems, and this is your entryway in and the tools that you use to support them right, with wherever they are.
Absolutely. We all go through a dark night of the soul, and some of us go through it often. And as long as we can remember that that's our opportunity to move to our next level, because when we go to that dark night, that means we've recognized something and we're having a little difficulty getting through it. But that's our goal at that moment. And once we do, we're on to the next level, and we've achieved greater, and we feel better about ourselves. And so that's what I'm here for. I teach people how to be an Avisha. And an Avisha is more like a spiritual counselor, like the wise woman of the village, or the spokesman that prepares the way for the avatar. I'll say it like that, because it's a Sanskrit word, but it's feminine. It's a feminine energy. And that means generally that the Avishas are here to teach. And so that's what I focus on. And I have an Avisha program for folks that want to do the same that I am, because some of us do feel that we're called.
Yeah. Your business is named Dragon Mastery. I'm wondering if you could share a little about that and the inspiration for the name and how it's connected to what you do.
Well, I don't know. I'm still learning how I'm connected to the dragon, But the dragon represents spirituality and wisdom. The pearl of great price is generally held in a lot of traditions by a dragon. In some cultures, they say defeat your dragon, and that means overcome the obstacles that hold you back. I teach hermetic principles dealing with Kundalini, and that is a dragon spiritual energy dealing with the chakras. And so to awaken your Kundalini, it said that you have to remove 51% of your negative energy in order for your Kundalini to awaken. So I don't know. When I taught Taekwondo for 20 years, I was Little Dragon. I've always been drawn to dragons. I don't know why. I'm like I said, I'm learning now because on the way my journey has unfolded is that my teachers let me make mistakes and then come and say, see, I told you. Or if I do something right, they're like, okay, you move to the next level. And then they'll explain something that I've been doing for years. And I just did it. I didn't know why it happened. So my journey has been not unique, but it's been an awesome journey.
It's great. It's great. I look forward to the unfolding of the dragons around you. It still
Thank
makes sense
you.
to me
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. Well, if people want to find you on the web, where should they go?
I do have a website. My business is Dragon Mastery LLC, but I do business as a dragonspath.com because we all have a journey and we get to choose the path. So my path is the way of the dragon. Um, the Ouroboros, he eats his tail, but that's because he becomes awakened to who he is and becomes whole. And so that's what I'm trying to bring about. So a
Oh, that's great.
dragonspath.com.
Yeah, dragonspath.com. That's great. It's lovely. Well, I look forward to
Thank
connecting with you more and having more and more people know about your work. Thank you so much for being part of the
you so much,
community.
Lorelai.
You are welcome,
Thanks for having
Rosemary.
me.
All
All
right,
right.
great. And all of you watching and listening, you can find out more about all of our events at mewefairs.com. See you soon.